This goes back to concept 10. And what we want to really do, if we could take out a negative x squared, if there's three terms and they all have x squared in common, so I take that x squared out. What? It's a squared, and it's negative. What we have left is we have an x squared minus 4x and then minus 5. Well, that's factorable, the beauty thing is. So y is equal to negative x squared, and then it factors to be x minus 5 and x plus 1, because two numbers that multiply to get negative 5 but add together to get negative 4. The roots of this polynomial are going to be 5, 0, negative 1, 0, and we often overlook this little x out in front. That's a 0, 0. It's also a double root, something to keep in mind when you graph this thing. So we have a 5 that's way over here. We have a negative 1 that's just kind of close. And we have a fancy schmancy going on right there at the origin. According to this and this thing is end behavior down to the right. I've always said the left of the equation determines what the right of the graph does. Okay, and it's going down to the right because of the negative number. So as we go back up and through, when we see that we're approaching 0, we're going to bounce off of that, because that's what that double root means, and that's going to turn around quickly and come back down the other way. Okay, that's basically that. By the way, this will be useful for you. I to the first is I to the second is negative 1, I to the third negative I, and I to the fourth is equal to 1. That means that this progression repeats itself after every 4. Okay? That means if your power is divisible by 4, it's going to equal 1. That's equal to 1. I don't care how big that is. You can add a couple more 4s. You can add a 7, 8, 9er. As long as it ends in a 4. Is that right? No, that's not right. Never mind. 4 is divisible by 4, so it's a 1. Not divisible by 4, but even, so it's a negative 1. This is really close to 100. In fact, it's 1 short of 100. We know 4 goes into 100, so if this is 1 short of 100, it's 1 short of this. You go back 1, it's a negative I. Bada bing. 111, I don't know. But I do know that 4 goes into 112. Oh, we know 108, don't we? 108 is divisible by 4. And that's 3 beyond 108. So if you say 108 plus 3, well, that right there is the power that we're looking at. But I to the third is not an acceptable answer. We need to know our repeat or our repetition or our process through through the fourth power, so that any of those could be simplified to be the first. So that just be with negative I. And I to the 1/60th, that's equal to 1, because again 1/60 is divisible by 4.